Hello there friends, CS News Live here. In today's video, s1MPLE's first match in God knows how long, Karrigan talking about his future plans, Zywoo, Twistzz, and many other exciting news from the world of CS2. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. And I think we shall kick off today's episode with the news that Loba has been removed from FPL for unknown reasons. It's well known that Loba was always trying to bring some energy and activity to the hub to make the games more interesting, but apparently the FACEIT admins didn't like that. Or this might also be connected to his frequent negative remarks towards both the FACEIT system, Valve, and the game. But the official reason haven't been disclosed, so you can guess in the comments below. And yeah guys, I know it's Loba and all that, but we honestly couldn't miss out on sharing this incredible event. The biggest critic of CS2 has finally praised the developers, although in his own style. So according to Loba, looking at CS, the developers of other games will learn how not to do things. He also mentioned that after the release of CS2, the developers won't be working on other projects. And he has even looked into the future, stating that CS3 couldn't possibly be worse than this version of the game. He added that since the game is currently at rock bottom, the only way is up, so it's all good. I mean, it's Loba, it's always the same thing, but in one thing he's right, the game is gradually improving and moving upwards, maybe with not that speed that we want, but anyways, it's the fact. And since we started talking about moving up and improving, we can't help but continue the Academy teams discussion from our previous video. This time we'll dive into the best Academy players based on the number of trophies won. Taking the top spot is obviously Bit from Navi, who played alongside s1MPLE during his prime and is now helping Alexibi build a new era for Navi. Valery has 13 trophies to his name so far. It's, well, a lot. In second place is m0NESY, another Navi junior graduate who has won 5 trophies with his current team. Third place is shared by multiple players with 4 trophies each. It's Donk, Zontex, and K-Serrato. And yeah, while Donk and Zontex have defended the colors of Spirit Academy and continue playing for the main roster, you might be wondering how K-Serrato made it onto the list. Interestingly enough, the Brazilian officially played several months for Fury Academy, a fact often overlooked by many media. And rounding out the top 5 are players from Mouse Academy, with 4 Academy graduates on their main roster, who have won 3 huge tournaments, by the way. The 18th and the 19th seasons of EPL, as well as the BB Dacha. By the way, the idea for this post came from Ami, the Navi's esports director and Navi Junior Academy coach. So if you don't want to miss posts that even Navi executives respond to, don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Now let's talk about CS2 once again, and Twistzz has shared his thoughts. According to him, running and shooting feels much more comfortable now, and trying to shoot while moving doesn't seem as absurd as it did in CSGO days. He also commented on the slowdown effect when hitting an opponent or being hit yourself. According to Twistzz, when you hit an enemy, their model seems to begin to slide, whereas when you get hit, it feels like you're being pushed backwards. I mean, I can't really get what he says, but since he's a pro, I guess I believe him. One of the main issues Twistzz pointed out is the netcode, the feature that handles kill delays, which has become a significant problem that many players are talking about. He also commented on the issue of smokes, saying that one side often gets an advantage when the smoke clears on certain maps. However, in his opinion, smokes clear randomly, so it's not that big of a problem. In addition, the Canadian mentioned that you can't turn away from flashbangs anymore, which he believes is likely also related to latency issues. And when asked about ping, Twistzz admitted that he still hasn't figured out how it works. So hit the like button if you're a bit like Twistzz and also don't quite understand how ping and subtick work. Lastly, Twistzz shared that he's not a fan of situations where a headshot registers even when it's clear that the bullet missed, but he has accepted that it's just a part of the game now, and we have to deal with it. He wrapped up by saying that despite all the issues, he still enjoys CS2 and looks forward to its improvements and evolution. Speaking of pro players, let's listen to what Bymas said. He recently shared some insights about his former teammates, I mean Mouse teammates. According to him, Robs is quite calm and quiet, while Frozen, on the other hand, is more energetic and talkative, often assisting the team captain. He also noted that both of his former teammates are really fun and great players. Currently, these two are part of FaZe, while Bymas' last team was Into the Breach. And since we've mentioned FaZe, we couldn't overlook Karrigan, who recently shared his future plans, and it might surprise you. So, according to the Danish player, he has many ideas for what to do after retiring from his playing career. First, he mentioned that he could become a coach, but that's quite obvious. But he also said that he could start his own organization, as he's familiar with many organizational aspects and also holds a degree in administration and accounting. Wouldn't that be cool, guys? Imagine Karrigan with his own organization? That would be really great. I'd love to see that. I would support him from, like, Game 1, I guess. Karrigan also said he's considering becoming an agent representing players, where he could, like, help young talents and assist other players in navigating through difficult situations. That's an important thing to do as well. But it seems to me that creating his own org would be much better, at least for us, the viewers. Karrigan also said his opinion on a question that many are asking: who is better, s1mple or Zywoo? So the Dane said that for now, s1mple is still the best. He added that s1mple is coming back right now to defend his GOAT status, as his previous form was simply unreal. However, Karrigan also mentioned that if Zywoo continues to play at his current level, he will have every chance to catch up and even surpass s1mple. Guys, what do you think about this? Don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments below. And continuing on the Danish captains, we couldn't skip mentioning Glaive, who led Ants to the finals of Elisa Masters, where they faced Heroic. And I have to notice that Heroic were the favorites to win this entire tournament, by the way. So in the grand finals, at first they lived up to the expectations, they won their opponent's map pick. But then things just seemed to fall apart for Heroic, as Glaive did everything he could to secure victory for his team. On the next map, he set up a perfect defense on the opponent's pick, and Ants sealed the deal in the second half. The third map was the most intense and could decide the outcome of the entire series. After a strong first half with a 10-2 scoreline, Ants struggled on defense as their opponents took 10 rounds in a row. So it was all into overtimes. The tension only grew, and the game wasn't decided until the third OTs. And it was Ants once again. And then finally on the last map, Dust 2, once again Ants dominated in the first half and closed it out in the second, securing the win. At the conclusion of the tournament, Glaive was awarded the MVP and Ants earned $100,000. I remind you that Kaspersky and Natu just joined the team like a couple of weeks ago and already won their first LAN with such a huge prize pool. Great job, guys. Interestingly, I have to notice here that Glaive was like in his true peak Astralis form. He was not only delivering excellent calls, but also demonstrated a high level of aim. His skill hasn't faded a bit. Additionally, the tournament received praise from Maui Snake, for example, as both he, Thorin and Richard Lewis were invited to provide analysis. It's worth noting that these analysts and journalists have not been invited to major tournaments recently due to their outspoken opinions, which could impact the reputation of the events, but I guess they can talk about like tier 1.5 tournaments like Elisa Masters Espo. So yeah, anyways, it was a great one, and I'm honestly really happy for Ants. Also, we had the grand finals of RAS Regional Championships. It was Nemiga versus Unpaid x Bleed in the finals, and can you guess who won? The victory was quite surprising, as Nemiga were considered underdogs and very few expected them to even reach the grand finals, but they proved what they're capable of, so congratulations. But Unpaid and Kassad also made to the headlines with their comments. After their win against Parivision, Unpaid's coach refused to shake hands with the opponents, believing that Parivision has reached the RMRs unfairly. Or maybe he was inside just still upset that his team wasn't given a second chance. However, Kassad also thanked the organizers for paying the prize money immediately, unlike Bleed. But that's basically all because Unpaid's players have no org, while Nemiga will have to wait around 2 or 3 months to receive their winnings. Yet, after this one, former Bleed players disappointed their fans by withdrawing from the next tournament, Thunderpeck World Championship. rip due to JCam's delayed travel, which means he won't be able to play. Additionally, Harm, who could have substituted, is no longer part of Unpaid's roster, so OG will be taking their place. By the way, Falcons are also competing in this tournament, so let's move on to s1mPLE's first official match since his return. Guys, let's skip the long introductions and dive right into the showdown between Falcons and 3D Max. s1mPLE is back into action. Aren't you excited? Prior to the roster changes, Falcons had beaten the French squad in 3 out of 4 previous encounters. Now let's see what they can pull off with the greatest player of all time by their side. It all kicked off on Anubis, the pick of 3D Max. The pistol round was completely under the control of the French, with Lucky securing 4 frags in mid, shutting down the standard split. But guys, let's not take this seriously, because s1mPLE wasn't fully warmed up by round 1. Yet, the game continued in the same fashion as the first round, with Falcons getting swept clean. But can we really blame s1mPLE for that? Or maybe we should. Wait a minute, is he even going to get a single frag? It's 0-5. Perfecto came to his defense, explaining that unlike his time with Navi, s1mPLE has started spending more time on utility. Perhaps he decided to play less aggressively and focus more on the team's overall success rather than his personal stats. Falcons managed to win their first round only at 5-0, and it was thanks to the Danish duo from the former Astralis lineup. And s1mPLE? Yeah guys, he is still chilling. But trust me, that's all part of the distraction plan. And yes, my friends, in the next round, s1mPLE finally got his first frag. And yeah, Falcons won that round too, but not because of s1mPLE's frag, to be honest. And at 5-3, Alexander secured his second frag. Remember a couple of rounds ago I mentioned that it was just distraction? Well, turns out I was right, because s1mPLE has finally started to play better. The next few rounds weren't as exciting, so let's skip to the last round of the first half, which was marked by a double kill from s1mPLE. He can still destroy his opponents when needed. The first half ended 7-5 in favor of the French. After the side switch, Falcons began to make a comeback, bringing the game to a tie, but even with that, s1mPLE's frag count wasn't impressing. Among all the Falcons players, he was performing the worst. Even Snappy has a 1.0 KD, but not s1mPLE. Then at 9-9, things got worse when Lucky, living up to his name, won a 1v2 clutch, pushing his team ahead. And this seemed to frustrate s1mPLE, as in the next round he just bought a shotgun, but well, wasn't able to make much of it, to be honest. At 12-9, Falcons managed to win a round to delay defeat, but it was all thanks to s1mPLE's teammates rather than himself. By the end of the first map, s1mPLE had a rating of 0.64 and his firepower was rated at 0 by HLTV. Even Snacks never had that bad. I mean, is the king no longer capable of showing his true mastery? Let's see on the second map. And it was Nuke, Falcons pick, one of their strongest maps. And you know what guys, things started pretty well for them as they won the pistol round. But then they slipped up and they weren't ready for the main push, and they lost the second round. Since 3D Max were on defense, they held the advantage. And then s1mPLE failed to clutch a 1v3 that he likely would have won in his prime.
In the tank, and s1mPLE says yes, I might have something for you. A vintage 1 versus 2 clutch.
However, this moment seemed to motivate him, as just a few rounds later he secured a quadro kill in a 1v2 clutch. Looks like the first map was just a warm-up.
Ready to retake. There is a kit on Jocko, but with 8 HP on that kit, it could be very awkward. He's now shown his position though. There is a wallbang possibility through these walls, don't forget. One bullet has to connect with Jocko though, and that can make it so awkward. And now a fresh reload. They have to stick it. He's taken Jocko off of it. Hang on.
He's done it.
Lucky. Oh, so much damage. Johnny's picked up the kit. It's going to be so close. Simple. Clutch.
Yeah, he's done it.
That said, s1mPLE performed much better on the second map. At 7-2, he had one less kill than the rest of the Falcons team combined. And from round to round, s1mPLE tried to make an impact. In the last round of the first half, he secured 3 kills and basically shut down the opponents on his own again. However, this didn't improve the overall situation much, as the first half ended with a score of 3-9. Falcons started the pistol round confidently with s1mPLE and Magis Twistzz doing a great job holding B. This led to Falcons starting to make a comeback on defense, with s1mple delivering highlight after highlight. Falcons were really close to tying this, but they had some issues and it just didn't work. In the end, 3D Max just managed to stabilize their economy, and despite s1mple's strong performance, they secured the match win, and that was it. By the end of the second map, s1mple had 27 kills and finished with a rating of 1.72, seemingly redeeming himself after the first map. Interestingly, here he was the only player to end up with the positive KD. After the match, s1mple himself commented that while it wasn't the best result, the team had only been practicing together for like 10 days and still had many mistakes to work on, which takes time to fix. Whether they'll be able to make even slight improvements will be seen in the elimination match, so let's get straight to it. And now, my friends, let's dive into the elimination match between Falcons and Virtus.Pro. And what makes this match even more exciting is that it's the first time Electronic and s1mple will face each other after leaving Navi. So you could basically say that this is a highly personal and meaningful matchup for both players. And the game kicked off on Mirage, Virtus.Pro's pick. Falcons started strong with a 2v3 clutch from s1mple and Dupree at 2-0. It's honestly worth mentioning that s1mple was in great shape throughout the whole match, as soon we'll see. However, Alexander did make a mistake early on, missing 2 critical shots that could have saved the round, which Norbert capitalized on. But in the very next round, s1mple redeemed himself, solo holding A with a triple kill. The match was swinging back and forth, adding to the excitement. For instance, in round 6, Falcons made a crucial error, allowing Fleet to sneak through their defense and secure a quadro, exploiting the gap. This wasn't the only time Falcons made a mistake. A few rounds later, they couldn't stop Fame, who single-handedly closed out the retake for VP. Even s1mple's pretty strong performance couldn't compensate for Falcons' frequent misplays and inability to trade properly. This led to a predictable 8-4 in favor of VP by the end of the first half. Falcons tried to come back, but Electronic, Fleet, and, well, other VP players were just that good. It honestly felt like Falcons barely showed up on the server, while s1mple was going all out solo. He almost won a 1v4, but fell short due to some unfortunate timing. Seeing this dire situation, Madden stepped up, possibly realizing that if they lose, he'd be next to leave the team. He pulled off a decent triple kill while attacking B. But Norbert, well, he answered with a triple of his own in the very next round, preventing Falcons from getting close to the site. And after that, well, VP just closed out their map pick. At the end of the first map, s1mple was the best player on his team and second on the server in terms of kills. However, CS2 is not a single-player game and, well, you need strong teammates to win. Next, we moved to Anubis, Falcons' pick. This isn't s1mple's best map, but after the first game, he seemed to have emotionally pulled himself together and looked ready to dominate, so let's find out. The pistol round started with a nice one-tap from s1mple in mid, but Norbert quickly traded his teammate, and the rest of Falcons couldn't handle VP's well-executed positioning. Then Fleet decided to take matters into his own hands, killing 4 players, and, well, he basically sent Falcons straight into the next round. However, s1mple quickly responded by securing 2 frags and winning a crucial 2v2 clutch nearly on his own.
To watch off for Flit's position, knows that he must be electric, starts moving in for an obvious battle and lands it with a no-scope. Flit now to peek up towards the defuse being held by Snappy. s1mple's got the angle on mark.
Soon after, the rest of Falcons woke up as well. Dupree and Snappy played perfect defense on B, shutting down the opposition. What followed was a real back and forth, with both teams trading rounds and outcomes being decided in close post-planned situations. And you know what, guys? s1mple just stood out, consistently delivering multi-kills and pulling his team ahead, which brought them to 7-5 by the end of the first half. Moving on to the stronger side, Falcons had a chance to close out the game. However, VP started the second half off with confidence, winning the pistol round. And Flit once again showed why B was off limits. After a brief technical pause, VP's dominance continued, with Jim and Electronic shutting down any attempt by Falcons to break through, and Norbert even caught S1MPLE trying to save. This led to 7-10 in favor of VP. At this point, S1MPLE tried to turn the tide by 1v3, but it didn't go as planned.
Playing up towards the back site, a fight to a third pick. These 1v1s are starting to go S1MPLE's way. 45 HP to get 2 more heads.
And James watching out for Electric, and S1MPLE wants to fight him.
In the following round, Magisk just couldn't close a 1v1, and VP eventually finished off Falcons on the last map. And as a result, Falcons with their new lineup were eliminated from Thunder Pick Championship. S1MPLE managed to have a positive rating in 3 of 4 maps, but his teammates failed to deliver, reinforcing the need for significant roster changes and building the team around S1MPLE. In this tournament, S1MPLE's rating was 1.17, basically showing that he still has the potential to perform at a higher level in competitive CS. Guys, what do you think of S1MPLE's performance today? Did you like it? What should Falcons do next? Maybe you could guess how they will perform at the RMRs. Drop all your thoughts in the comments below. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and to follow our channel. We're not saying goodbye for a long time. See you soon.